We're about to do a check where we composure. We got a bajillion stat points to spend as well. She should have just put in whatever. Composure. Boots. That's right, this is our composed suit, isn't it? It's these two. What is it now?
The old man stares despondent.
58, it's not a lot. It's already pretty high. Oh, it's capped. You look at all our skill points, Jesus. Can't we do something to get motor stuff up? Don't mind me, old dude. I'm just gonna like shoot up some speed or something here. Did they take all my stuff after we went to like hospital? Oh no, it's here. No, I think they took my speed. Did they take our speed? That was for the motor stuff, wasn't it? We still got the booze and the smokes. We should have still had speed on us. And I guess after we went to like hospital, I got patched up or whatever. They took our damn speed. These motherfuckers. We definitely don't have it, do we? It was in here. It would clearly be in here with the smokes. Oh, because we're capped. We've got all these skill points to spend, but we're actually capped. And here. Can I can't raise this anymore, can I? Balls. Let's just spam some points around then. I want to get them all coloured up. We've only got 3. We should keep one. Maybe we should keep a couple points in the bank. If we end up with a bunch of them, I'll put them in here. It'd be fun to have them all. Did I actually just do that? Meh.
The old man stares despondently.
58%'s not great, but...
The logs. It's like he's forgot. For a 60-year-old man,
God, we've just been failing so many fucking
who
rolls.
spent his
It's
entire
actually
life
getting
alone
frustrating.
on
It's
an uninhabited
ridiculous.
island. He seems surprisingly
58% wasn't going to be shit, and you were going to get bodied. For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on the uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Was there any way to get our cap permanently up? Now that it's capped. I can't like put a skill point in the overall thing, can I? Well, unless there's like forts or speed. I'm never even going to end up finishing that fort either. We'll just be running around with those minor stats for ages. Well, not much left to do. But sort of arrest this guy.
the old man stares despondently
It's hard
at
locked.
the logs. It's like he's
Bummer.
forgotten you're there.
Iosef Lilianovich Dros, you are under arrest for the murder of the colonel here in Martinez.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
I lied.
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
Get owned.
Do you understand?
But
Do you understand, sir?
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Perception hearing is so low. May as well try it. We're here now.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
I thought our perception was pretty good. Oh no, it's crap. Oh, could I have actually leveled that up then before I did that? I forgot you can do it in the middle of the conversation, can't you? I don't have to leave. It's the clothes we can't do. Oh, I could have pumped that up a bit.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
We could all fit in the little boat? First say, does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches in there while I come back for you?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Maybe I can just ask that net picker to watch him? No, that's stupid. I think we're gonna have to say it. We can all fit in the little boat?
Actually, no.
We can't just ask the net picker to, like, watch someone we've just arrested. Guess we are going to ask that.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Should we send Kim? I don't trust us. You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
Maybe you're right.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this us?
I'm the one that's pretty beaten up as well. I probably shouldn't be staying out here for a day or two.
The wind is cold from the east. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Holy shit, is that the Phasmid? Plasmid? Phasmid? Insulindian Phasmid? Wow. A delicate tangle. What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
It actually is real? That's a bit stupid, but hey. Look at this guy. Giant stick insect. Oh shit, it's coming right for us.
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it.
Kim,
I
can you
can't
see
make
it?
out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
Kim can see it too. We're not just crazy.
4 simple words. Thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane.
Yeah, definitely thought we were tripping balls.
But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, then takes a step towards a giant arthropod. This is a weird thing that's happening. What? Can we talk to Kim?
Yes?
This will to this thing.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Lena's childhood experience. Your corpse will be marked by stars. And we laid the pheromone on thick. Yeah, we got extra pheromone. That was ages ago, but I guess it's still on.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything.
Sheesh, this is
The
very
insect's
bizarre.
head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts
Whoa.
the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
Cool, look at that photo.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand, a polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as you shadow before it. Slowly reach out and touch the... Oh, I want to pat it. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Lick your finger, that seems a bit much. Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Run your hand up the slender limb higher.
A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the overwhelming brightness of the signal. The invertebrate is regaining control.
Should we lick our finger? It seems like a really dumb thing to do, but I'm curious.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
We got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively as you go licking all this stuff.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
We got +1 because we tasted it. We could raise our hands slowly, or we could just try this. Inland Empire. Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
It's wunderbar.
Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
What is happening? Intruded upon? By what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument. That's me.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Oh, friendly insects.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective. Arriving. On the scene.
I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long time. For thousands of years. I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
This is my masterpiece.
No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminoles Islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revershaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Where does this come from? All this, around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
We need to know. Perhaps it's sent to us by a god.
I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
Yum yum. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
That's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, what is the Pale?
You're a
Whoops.
violent and
That's not me.
irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
Have I always fought this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
I've already forgotten the whole world once, when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Sort of.
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you is smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
Like the memories of our lost when we were having that Dolores Day episode. Whoever we've got trapped in the back of our minds somewhere. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. End it. I will.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Raise the other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Don't pray to me. I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Bye-bye. Aw, that was a cool phasmid. They were a friend.
And, just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water.
Bye-bye.
And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Very bizarre. Save at the moment. Oh, it's the helmet. And the rifle scope. And Classie's passport. Should have a look at it.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
That's who she did tell us her actual name was, that didn't she? But then she bailed hard.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
Look at the photo.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazie was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Didn't she actually end up telling us that that was her name? And that it was like a weird mashup, a nickname? Maybe this is her real passport, not a fake, because this is her real name.
No, she lied to us. Her so-called real name was not her real name. Somehow she's managed to lie to us about that too.
What was this doing in the Phasmid's nest?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
Perhaps for some blackmailing plan?
Perhaps. But that still doesn't explain how it got into the nest.
The Phasmid took it, and I sensed it do so. I saw something open up the buoy with spindly legs.
Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
At some point, at this point, his mind's opened up a little bit more.
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
A curious octopus would do something similar, or even a cuttlefish.
Perhaps it was curious, like an octopus.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
What's her real name, then?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alazie, or Klasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
Wild.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the Phasmid?
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. his gap-toothed mouth shaking.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke?
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years?
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it is, who knows how much of it in its company? What?
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Start with the helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Show him the detached scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
Show him the Oranese passport.
No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80. This is an old man, at last. No longer a tin soldier, but the broken down remains of a man.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
No react. This isn't.
Did you take this passport? He hears.
No reply.
Exhausted.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Headed back to the mainland. I doubt we can fast travel or anything. So it's going to be
The
cool
old
to
man
just chill
still-
there.
Yes?
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Kim, what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM. It sounds like RCM. Revachol Citizens Militia.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
It's a little embarrassing in 51, no? Maybe we need a rebrand.
No one remembers the ICM. The connotation is less important each year.
A white star. Point to the star on the label.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Are those spec stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
The skiff is swaying on the wave.
Let's. We are done here.
Need to get help for this guy.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and but for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him.
It's him. It's the guy who had the disguise on, who hated us, who was chilling at the whirling. Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of
Teapot?
impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Is he calling us that because you shaved or the clothes we're wearing?
This is the man with sunglasses from the whirling in rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine.
The armor, no one seems bothered by it.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yep, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Not enough disco.
Vic, calm down.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Kemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it.
Who was our partner?
Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you've got to have my back. Let's destroy them.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
I need Kim. She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Dude, forget about all this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
But the giant phasmid. He points at you with both hands. Damn, that's an excessive point. Both hands. What is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
What's a shit kid?
You. Shit kid? That's you.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case.
Yeah, rhetoric usually gets us in trouble. Better not to piss him off by arguing.
Good idea. It doesn't look like he thinks you're in a position to correct him on the shit kid issue.
How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and he still betrays me? Turn to the general direction of the whirling and yell, "Damn you, cafeteria manager! You've betrayed me for the last time!"
Speaking of which, the giant aerografito in front of the building. The one that's burning. Did you do that?
Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic gesture.
I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit kid.
This guy can cram it, really. I don't really care. Like, we've already done enough pretty good work. We'll take it as a mild W. This guy can cram it.
The line is from Lu Jiatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
I don't see what this guy's done to help at all, other than just be in the way and be shitty.
He is correct. It was the Seraillese poet Lu Jiatun who, in the 50s of the last century, composed her.
Don't encourage him, Trant.
Okay.
Imagine if the guy actually helped us at all or explained anything. He's just been such a piece of crap the whole time. You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Actually, I suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Absolutely no idea. 100 years?
So, Trant Heidelstein turns out to be special consultant Trant?
Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein.
Wait, what was up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Okay, that does have something to do with it, yes.
No. Everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises.
You mentioned a task force.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Yeah, totally. I get it. Major Crimes Unit.
He doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good.
Is it really? What's the better option?
Yeah, that's very good.
Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
We may have said some things along that line. I think we did say we are Detective God or something, but he was being a dick first. So you let me face... Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
Why didn't you detect or die then?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
I don't want to say this thing and literally call her the horse-faced woman. None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, e-solar, pound, and so on.
Yeah, you notice that a lot, like, I don't know any real life amnesia cases, but in a lot of fiction, it does seem to vary if you just don't remember, like, people, faces, relationships, or yeah, general concepts. Like, what are the road rules, or what is money? How does capitalism work?
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
He's not a cretin, he is able to do work. If not in previous leadership role, should we concede and just accept line detective? Like, they're giving us a pretty good break. With everything that's happened, I don't think we are honestly ready to lead again. Line detective is good for now. I'd take that as a win.
For now? I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty? Or do we need to get him on the disability bench?
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, line detective, we would take that if possible. We're not going to push it too much. What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Underwater killer. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me.
You're the ones being such a dick.
Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Wait, my badge?
The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
What I do have is this futuristic armor.
We're not armor cops. We're cops. People don't know us by our armor. They know us by our badges. You called in and said you lost yours. Have you found it?
I don't think we should lie. Should we just give it to him? Like, it's all pretty fair. We really did get fired and have our badge taken away. With everything we've done, we're lucky we're not going to prison or something. Let's just show him our badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic,
God.
and the badge slips out of your hand.
How much can we embarrass ourselves in this? Let's try to catch it. Dude, we're already screwed. 28%. Oh, shit, we got the 2 6s. All right. Well, after all the snake eyes we've gotten.
Not today, badge.
Behold, my badge,
And your gun?
he asks, unimpressed by the piece of plastic in your hand.
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
I guess because I feel like he just wants to take it all from us and basically get us fired, but it's probably worse if we pretended that we didn't have it. It's like, no, I've got my badge, I've got my gun. What kind of cop do you think I am? Obviously, I've got my badge and gun. Who would lose or pawn those things off?
What is it with all these material objects?
I upgraded my gun to a rifle.
Upgraded it. I don't care about your weapon mania, Harry. I only care about your official sidearm, which you lost.
This is a Tranyong 4.46. It was used to kill a man from nearly 1 kilometer away.
I don't care. Where is the gun the RCM gave you to kill people with? Where is that one?
Okay, I've got that too.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
We've only had 1 or 2 drinks in the past week.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Hold on. I just haven't washed myself after the autopsy. It's gross. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
A few things to say here. Classier, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. I think that's actually sort of true, isn't it? Might say that. Defend ourselves a little bit. That's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That doesn't matter. None of it does. We are looking at the oxygen holocaust. Times a quadrillion. I've come to know the final fate of man and the universe. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something. Or the fact that you're Everard Claire's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote.
We didn't actually do anything for Everard Claire. Can we clarify that one?
Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
That was unfortunate, yes. Okay.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
They were 3 fully geared up mercenaries, armor, massive guns, the works. The police detective with a pistol. That's always going to be a tricky situation.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life.
Yeah.
He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yes, what he said.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
Yeah, cram it, Jean.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
That we're a loon, but we actually do some work?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
Dude, I feel like we drank like once in the past week.
The man sighs deeply.
Kim's really going to throw us under the bus like that. I'm pretty sure we drank once of one of those alcohol things through the whole game.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants
Apparently.
to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
You should yell something.
I'm a policeman of the state to come. That's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both of them.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about at all.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective.
Yay.
One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which by the way was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what it was.
He was there, wasn't he, listening to it?
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
I'm surprised he's bringing that up now. Like, we could maybe bring that up later. It's sort of not super related to everything going on, but it was pretty crazy.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Look at this. I don't know what that means, Hosiana. Boom shakalaka, motherfucker. I don't think we'll say that. So, as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. I don't know what that means. We might just say nothing.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
Yes, the Phasmid may have contributed to his mental state in some way over the years.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
Cool. His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Was it actually jealousy? We said that at the start, but then... Weren't these sort of both true? It was jealousy at first, but then we started pushing about him doing it for... Everard or someone? He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something?
A strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind, he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could just be a little neater. Do we be like modest? I feel like that's just being a little modest. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could just be a little neater.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop
That's
and you
not
did a good job. With
modesty,
a lot of
really, it's
help
the
from
opposite.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Kim did help a lot.
And none of this can hide the smell of booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something. It will pass. In time.
There was also a dead man on the boardwalk. A missing person I found.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane 10, a commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it.
Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
I guess we're saying all of this. Also, the Phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. This looks like a culmination of all the things we've done throughout the game that we've got info to actually tell these guys. A checklist of the things that we actually did do.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest: a helmet, a scope, and a passport.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored.
Yeah, I don't know why we were saying it's female. We didn't really get any solid. It was sort of a guess, wasn't it? It could have been male, actually.
Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
It told me.
Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense, yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
I wonder, surely it's possible to get to this point and have encountered it but not have the photo? So I guess it's pretty good we got that photo.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
You only got one thing left to say. The previous head of the Debordeurs unit was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Everard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little.
understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
Cool. It's a really cocky statement after everything that's happened, but it's all we've got left. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
Yeah, we got work done. We got the results. Isn't that what matters?
So I have to.
Yeah.
Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore,
But before.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Gym teacher. We have been a little more nimble and athletic than sort of you'd think from our beaten down drunken state. That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
I guess it matches up. The collection of fallen sportswear I've amassed.
Some of your more old-school social views. Your love of retro-style dance music.
Oh god, Contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition. A 5,001 rank outsider.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
She looks around at the dilapidated fishing village. When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
You said in Kuron? I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
Okay, I get it.
The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Kuro is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You,
Some chick.
every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Some chick. Who?
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Wait, Dora England?
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
No, I mean, what did she do?
She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Way fierce. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Precinct 41. What kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head northward.
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Torsen and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it.
Yeah, not like us. 2 clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And Price is...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the Force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why did we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
So I work in the bloody murder station.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in River Shoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
The Phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. We got no idea where she is, though.
Who is Lena?
A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock. She told me about this Phasmid.
Well, good luck finding her once we get back.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. I'm sure we'll find them. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon.
She will be, yeah. She'll be disappointed that she never got to actually find it herself or see it, but hey, she'll take a photo. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41? Ooh, come hang over, come and have a sleepover, Kim.
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. And crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
We're trying to ask him to come along, to come back with us. We want to keep hanging out. We're homies now.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
I'm ready. We've been for everything? Is this it? I wonder if there's going to be like 10 more things to do, or it sort of seems like... I'm ready.
Good.
She looks at you, then Vic.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time.
A man without eyelids smiles.
Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. The Khmer? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
End? Never seen a button like this before. End? Click. Oh, the hand on the shoulder. Kim, such a homie. He's gonna come work with us at 41. In we go. One last stare down. Jacques. Oh, come on. Oh, we're limping. Oh, he's giving us a hand. Ah. We did it. Wow, that was crazy. 40 hours. Oh my god, what an experience that was. Holy shit. That was 40 hours of all of that. Woof. I don't know if I've ever absorbed so many words from something in my life. I can't imagine doing that without the voice acting. What a difference it makes. GG's. Wow. Where do we even begin, like, to talk about that? I'm gonna let these credits drop and we'll be back quickly and then I'll rant. Imagine translating this game. Not only is there just so much dialogue and text and everything, there's heaps of like French words in all sorts of different languages. The vocabulary is just insane. There's a lot of words in that were above me, over my head. It would be hard to make all the writing hit to mean the same, have the same connotations, meanings, everything behind it. Translated to make sure you keep everything intact. Disco Waldo translators. Like, there's a lot of translators. It would have to be a huge crew. Most of the credit is localization and translators. I wonder if there was any content changes with the final cut. If they like changed, added, or removed anything. Would it be interesting though to go and check out some other playthroughs? I might follow the category and watch a few other streamers play it and sort of see what they're doing, how they're approaching it. Because God, the paths must just vary so much. I think I've mostly just had lurkers coming by the stream. And I think my regulars, like once you're 10, 20 hours into this and you don't know what's going on, it's not the best, like it's not the best streaming game unless you've got people in it the whole time from the start to end following it along. Otherwise it's just like, what is this? What are they all talking about? Although that, at the end, it's not that hard to catch up because in terms of the actual story, just one thing, like I loved it, that was amazing. And it's hard to even compare that to any other type of experience. Like, what was that? It was like a choose your own adventure audio book or something, more than a game. It's hard calling it. It's weird calling it a video game. But I do like me a good visual novel. I've only played like all the mainline ones, the Danganronpas, the Nonary games. VLR is one of my favorite games, like one of the best stories and things out there. So I can appreciate just a good story, good writing, good dialogue, vibe with it. But your average visual novel still has like, it'll at least take a break and be like, here's an escape room, here's some puzzles, here's something to sort of stimulate the other side of your brain a bit. This did not have a lot of actual sort of gameplay challenges. It's all just dialogue. Dialogue. It would have been nice to have like a couple of things to actually do. Chris Avallone, isn't he a cool dude? Isn't he like some big time dude? What does he do? That's a name I know. Oh yeah, Fallout, New Vegas, Planescape Torment. Oh my god, look at this guy's credits. That lines up perfectly. Planescape Torment, Fallout, New Vegas, Knights of the Old Republic. Makes sense to see his name. That's it? Damn. His credits were sort of quick. I guess when it comes down to the actual like dev crew and artists and stuff, probably weren't that many people. That was crazy though. Like I put that up there as something that is really good to experience or try and get a feel for it, just as something different, something very unique. Something very, I don't know, dude. Whenever you play a game, like Outer Wilds or something, you just can see like whoever made this, some very smart people much smarter than I made this thing. You gotta, hats off to them. What a thing that was. So I can definitely complain and nitpick about a couple things. Like it started really getting on at the end there. At some point I was a little keen. Once we hit like 30, 35 hours, I was getting a little keen to wrap it up. So I was feeling bad that I was sort of rushing through the end. Like I should have gone exploring all the sniper angles, sniper spots, trying to figure that out properly before we went and spoke to Ruby. I knew I was sort of cutting it there, but it really seemed like the showdown went bad because of that, and a bunch of the Hardy Boys died. And I don't really care, because fuck those guys, and they deserved it. Maybe if they were just being helpful and not dicks, like they realized that at the end, it's like, oh, maybe you guys aren't that bad, and maybe we should have been nice. Like, I'll take that as a told you so. Well, that's right. Now you know. Maybe if everybody wasn't such an asshole, especially that our old partner at the end, but he had pretty good reason to be pissed off. And I honestly didn't really think that... I thought that we sort of wrapped up most of Phasmid Cryptozoologist. Like, this game is pretty grounded. There's not much, like, supernatural stuff at all, or anything sort of fantasy. So for the Phasmid to actually come out at the end... That was pretty, like, I like that. I wish there was more stuff like that. More, like, wow moments of, oh my god, what a surprising twist thing. There wasn't really much, like, twists or events or things that occurred. Like, I was kind of thinking solving the core murder mystery would be, like, the first third or so of the game, and then we'd move on to, like, other things. But it was all centered around that one murder mystery. But at the end of the day, just the writing just held it together. And sometimes I feel myself burning out. But then I'd start talking to something or someone or something would happen that would just pull me straight back into it. And then I realized I've just played for another 2-3 hours. The time would just go so quickly sometimes when you just get absorbed in it, immersed in it. Suddenly 40 hours have happened. Yeah. Easily a solid 8, 9 out of 10 or something. Especially these days you can get it for like $16 or something. But I'll say it's not for everyone. And I'm surprised, like, dude, a game, it's been really successful, really popular. Am I just dumb, or is everybody like pretending that they get it? Is this an Inception thing? It's like, no, I totally understood everything that was going on. I had to keep Googling words and shit. I had no idea what people were talking about. I like to think I'm fairly decent at English, decent enough. I've been on the internet. I know how to spell my there, and theirs, and you, yours, you, ours. So, you've really got to be into it. But it puts itself out on the plate pretty clearly at the start. Like, this is what you're in for. Intense dialogue, conversation trees. The conversation trees were just amazing. It's so well written, so well done. It counts for so much. And the pathing and the routing, the freedom to do things in all sorts of different orders, and how everything loops around and comes back around. There are a couple of spots, like there's so often like the conversations would change just on the few pieces of facts that we know, or the things we've done, and the things we hadn't done, and things we hadn't known. I was like, oh, I should go and think of it, explore this other thing before I push this conversation. But so many times you'll think logically about something like, if this person's saying this, then should I try to say and do this to get around this aspect of their personality? Can I lie here just for a bit, just to suit my own needs? And a lot of the time you can. Like, it sort of plays out how you would, like, if you sit down and think and try something, it usually works or makes sense. It was very satisfying like that. I could rant about this game for ages. You could do essays on this. I bet people have done essays. God, let's say YouTube video breakdown of Disco Elysium. It's probably like a 10-hour video. A brief breakdown of Disco Elysium. It's 20 hours. Disco Elysium, the complete narrative breakdown. 37 minutes. The philosophy of Disco Elysium, psychoanalysis, ideology, and absurd. Look at this shit. I'm gonna have to get into some of these videos. Look at this stuff. That might be a sleep video sometime. Put that on to go fall asleep to. Philosophy. My brain is just so broken. After this, we are definitely going to go and play like Call of Duty or something, where I just run around and shoot people. God, I've had my fill of words and thinking. My brain is just destroyed. What was Disco Elysium actually about? Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. 71 minutes. God. So we'll watch some of these sometime. Wow. Well, definitely it lived up to the hype and then some. Like, people said it was good. Woof. Yeah. Obviously, like, the writing, the music's great. The art's obviously amazing. Like, the whole art style, the whole time. Very unique, very cool. The whole thing's like this living oil painting. Very cool. But I learned some stuff. But I think my only two complaints I would say is I kind of wish more happened in terms of like story events. Like, oh my god, it turns out this person was this, or like the Phasmid situation, or the showdown. It's sort of like the last few hours were packed full of interesting things, but the first like 30 hours were definitely not a lot of exciting things happened. And it started to go on a bit at the end. Once we're at the end, once we talk to that guy, it's like, okay, half the people that we know are dead. We've got the murderer, we've got the murder weapon and everything. And then we went to talk to the Phasmid, and like, really, now we're talking to this giant stick insect. Like, is this game actually going to end at some point? I was getting keen for it to wrap up. That's just, my brain was just breaking after 35 hours off it, but that was me a little bit just wanting to rush it. I want to go play Splatoon soon and play some other games and stuff. I've got to go to work tomorrow and all that jazz. I was keen to wrap it up this weekend once I saw the end in sight. But the wanting to wrap it up is sort of just a me thing. I'm sure a lot of people are fine and dandy for it to just go on and on. I'd be like, alright, I'll get back to it for the next week or something. Yeah, a few more story events and maybe a little tighter at the end, or yeah, would be nice, but other than that, like, it's still an 8 or 9 out of 10 for sure. So much to think about and think back on. But that's probably my rant for now, because we need to take a decent break, because we got to go play some Splatoon after this. That'll be a tone shift. That'll be the complete opposite of this game, going to play Splatoon 3. I'm going to need to like eat a sandwich or something though. I'm going to need to eat something, set up the Switch, so this might be an extended break. I might actually take the stream down just to make sure this VOD gets saved properly. Reset the stream quickly. And then Splatoon time. Should be fine. But I will need a bit of a break. Eat something, install Splatoon. Oh, and play some Splat. It's one of those things that's hard to like, what do I do now? Really? Just play a different game? I feel complete after all that. I'm ready to go to bed. Those games that you finish, it's like, wow, what do I do now? Go back to life? My life has been this for the past week. Woof. Well, truly we have become the Disco Elysium.